another live in order to counteract the angry one I did this morning. But no apologies for the one I did this morning. Because the frustration with all of this sometimes is overwhelming. You know, kids are getting hurt. And it's like Michael Aquino told me before. When I was growing up, he told me that if I told anybody, no one would believe me. And more importantly, if they believed me, they wouldn't care. And so I'm doing what I can to actually bring exposure to this. But it's frustrating because people don't want to listen and they don't care. And the fact that Thomas Schoenberger bragged that Kash Patel would make all of this child trafficking BS go away. And that's exactly what he's done. It's exactly what they've all done. You know, and it's right in front of people and nobody cares. It's just like them running around telling people that I'm a pedophile and molested my nephews. But the one is only 3 years younger than me, and the other one is only 8 years younger than me. And they all know this. Gabe Hoffman, Doug Mesner, a.k.a. Lucian Greaves, founder of the Satanic Temple, Tara Joyce. I assume that hag is still obsessed with me. I haven't looked at her stuff, and I don't know how long. I just don't care. She's the one who's obsessed with me, not the other way around. You know? And as far as this child trafficking stuff goes, because that's what we're talking about with the Epstein stuff. But people don't seem to care, you know? Can you imagine being one of the Epstein victims? And they're just telling those women that are now women, they were kids, that they're just liars. So everyone's okay with just telling victims of abuse that they're liars and that their perps are the ones who are telling the truth. Because that's how it works. That's how it works. You know, to be quite honest, when people come forward and say that there's trafficking and stuff like that, but do I believe that every Republican is okay? God, I'd hope not. You know, I would hope that not every Republican is okay with fucking pedophiles. Just because they're in their own party. I would really hope not. But am I assured that it's not that way? No. No. When they thought it was Tom Hanks and Oprah Winfrey and Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, boy, they're all over it. But when it comes down to, oh, Trump's name is mentioned in it, then they don't want to hear anything about it, you know? And so it's bizarre how it works. It is bizarre how it works. And they are on top of me. They're breaking into my house all the time. You know, this morning, some dude, the same dude who said, oh, I've donated $75. There's been no donations that have come in. It was all bullshit. But that's what they do, because they say, well, I'm going to say I'm going to donate, then nobody else will donate. And that's what it's designed to do. You know, it's designed, they're out there hurting survivors. Anyone who actually is outspoken, they're doing it as much damage to them as they possibly can. And people are just, you know, I'm in Trump country. I live in a town of 4,000 people where a lot of these idiots have Trump signs all over. And they're the meanest, most hateful motherfuckers you've ever met in your life. But you can't tell them that, because then you're victimizing them. If you call them out on all of their evil shit, then you're victimizing them. But they can do all of their evil shit, you know? They'll loudly and proudly in their place of business yell out that they have hate in their heart and who they have hate for. And then people are just like around. I mean, they were just a bunch of gossipy bitches fucking eavesdropping on. You know, it's kind of sad how it works. And they just wish bad things. They wish bad things on me. You know, they do. Go to my bank. One of them that lives right beside me, that's been a problem, their relative works at my bank today. She just, out of the blue, just started laughing about taxes. You know, because they know and they think it's funny. Because this gay guy has absolutely no business talking about their meth operation, let alone the child trafficking stuff that I'm trying to expose. You know, I'm just a troublemaking gay guy. But the pedophiles, boy, they're okay. You know, they're okay. They pass out flyers all over town. You know, but it's impossible to say that I molested my nephews when the nephews they're talking about, one is only 3 years, and not even 3 years younger than I am. The other one is 8 years younger. But they're presenting it as I was this old dude preying upon these young kids. Why do you think they did that? Why do you think it was so important for them? And they all do it. That Gabe Hoffman had just, he was just doing it on X yesterday. The other day, I got inundated with people that were listening to Gabe Hoffman. Tara Joyce does it all the time. Daniel Dowd does it all the while he's meeting kids that he's meeting online in person so he can counsel them in how they shouldn't be meeting predators like him online. But that's acceptable. That's acceptable. Me, I'm just trying to expose this child trafficking operation that my family was involved with. They break into my house. They steal shit like that computer. They brag about it. I didn't even know that computer was gone. But they don't know how, the people in town don't know how they're getting into my house, so they must not be getting into my house. Because they don't have a fucking clue how it's happening, so it must not be happening. See how it works? But it is happening. They murdered my friend Owen. Bragged about it. My sister Kathy was involved with it. She was telling everybody our stepmother was dead at the same time. You know? She's the one who told me Daniel Dowd was in Joplin, Missouri. She knew they were coming in to murder Owen. They murdered Owen because of the Ricky Chaddick case. An abducted kid. They got abducted and murdered. That's what started all of this in 2007. My dad died in 2006. I started doing all of this in 2007. Trying to expose this. You know? But because people in my town that don't know shit, don't know nothing of it, well, they don't believe it because they don't know nothing about it. You know? God help you if you need fucking brain surgery, it's up to them. Because I guess since they're not brain surgeons, it must not exist either. It's just frustrating to deal with this. And they're, as a group, coming at me. As a group, coming at me. You know? With lies. Just flat out lies. Flat out lies. Oh, I'm a pedophile. A bunch of fucking child killers because they don't return the kids they traffic. You know? It's not like they borrow the kids and then give them back after they're done. But this group of motherfuckers are calling me a pedophile and they're in a fucking child trafficking operation. But I'm not supposed to have any emotional reaction to that whatsoever. They break into my house constantly, letting me know they break into my house, steal shit, threaten my dogs, threaten to murder me. Murdered my friend Owen. You know? Do videos of me burning down, they're gonna burn down, blow up and burn down my house. Videos of them lynching me. Passing out fucking flyers all over town. You know? Saying that I'm a pedophile. I'm not a pedophile. And the fact that Shelby County, Iowa Sheriff Neil Gross and his deputies are the ones that got filmed hanging up those flyers all over town, you know? It's just amazing. It's amazing. You know? And no, I'm not a pedophile. I'm a fucking dumbass. I just keep saying it over and over and over again. But they're in here actually, they want to cause as much dissension as possible, and they don't want anyone to listen, just like they don't want anyone to listen to the Epstein victims. They don't want anyone to fucking listen to them. Oh, but wait a minute. They're all liars. There are no child traffickers. I mean, there were no Johns. If you listen to Kash Patel, Jeffrey Epstein was trafficking all those girls to himself. That's what happened. That's what he just said in front of Congress. And it's interesting that Thomas Schoenberger, who's heavily involved in all of this, bragged over and over and over, along with Johnny Dub, who is Lucian Greaves, founder of the Satanic Temple, bragged that Kash Patel was going to make all this go away. It's going to make all this child trafficking thing go away. And now it has gone away. They're trying to make it go away. Pam Bondi worked really hard to get it away. Dan Bongino making it really hard to go away. Kash Patel just went into fucking front of Senate, said that there were no people. That Jeffrey Epstein was trafficking those kids to himself. There was no one else. And then one of the politicians said, well, what in New York? And then said there were 20 people there, named one of them. Kash Patel didn't even want to hear that. Didn't even want to hear that. Because the story is that every victim is a liar. And every perp is innocent. Unless, of course, you're gay or black. If you're a different color, then all bets are off. You know? You could be locked up in a room for 20 fucking years left alone, and they'll still put you in jail for pedophilia. They don't have to have proof. Shit, they're passing out flyers all over town saying that I'm a fucking pedophile. And yet, the two that they're calling out is one's less than 3 years younger than I am, one's 8 years younger than I am. But they don't present it that way, do they? No, they don't. They don't present it that way. And why do they present it? Because I'm trying to expose their child trafficking ring. The worker bees. The worker bees. The ones who are actually doing the work. Michael Aquino, Gabe Hoffman, Thomas Schoenberger, Doug Mesner, a.k.a. Lucian Greaves, founder of the Satanic Temple, Geo Farnsworth, Daniel Dowd, all part of Sewertown. They're the ones who came in and murdered Owen and laughed about it and now want to act all butthurt because they wanted fucking credit for murdering Owen. But now that I've given them credit, now they don't want credit anymore. You know? But they were all eager to get it before. They bragged about murdering my friend. They break into my house constantly. Corey Daniel, who was involved with Isaac Cappy. What was Isaac Cappy trying to do before he ended up dead? Oh, that's right. Expose this pedophile ring in Hollywood. You think it's actually a coincidence that Virginia Giuffre commits suicide right before all the shit comes out about Trump and Epstein? Think that's a coincidence, do you? Do you live in a world where it rains Skittles and cotton candy and gumdrops grow on the fucking trees? How stupid can you be? It's not stupid. You're not stupid. You're ignorant. You choose to be ignorant. Ignorance is a choice. They can present it all the facts that they want, and you'll still choose to look away. You'll still not give a shit about the kids. You know? And then you have people around here who will fucking loudly and proudly proclaim the hate that they have in their hearts. I hate the left. I hate gays. But then feel that they're going to be raptured any minute because fucking God loves them because they know who to hate. And they think that's how it works. If only they could find some love, maybe even just a little compassion, just a little compassion for the kids that are getting hurt in that. But that's not fucking, not at all. Compassion for the victims, for the kids, or Trump and all of the Republicans that are trying to make this all go away. You know? Guess which one will win? Guess what? It's not the kids. Don't give a shit about the kids. Now, if it just stuck with the Democrats and the left, they'd be right there. They'd want this, oh my God, like they were for 20 fucking years. You know? 15 years they've been just hankering. You all elected the fucking Republicans on the very premise that they were going to bust out this Epstein thing. And now that they're actively hiding the shit, now you don't want to be bothered. Now you can't be bothered. You just don't want to look at it. No, we don't even want to see it. No. No, I don't know. No. That's how it works. Unless someone else says something you don't like, and then you'll bitch about cancel culture, but it's the first fucking thing you jump to. When someone says something you don't like, the hypocrisy is just amazing. It is amazing, the hypocrisy. And then you wonder why people don't respect you. You know, Gio's a fucking drunk who's fucking obsessed with me. You know, obsessed. What is my opinion of Charlie Kirk? I think he was a divisive figure. I think he made a lot of money saying a lot of ugly shit. He fucking fed the hatred and the derision and the division in people's hearts. He did. And so what? By his own standards. So what? So he got shot. So he got killed. There's going to be people who get fucking killed with the Second Amendment. Isn't that what he said? So why is his death any more important? Fuck, all I have to say, this is the first fucking school shooting I've ever seen Republicans give a fuck about. It's amazing. It's the first fucking school shooting they give a fuck about, because otherwise they couldn't give a shit less. Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers. But fuck, now they're willing to cancel anyone, go after anyone who speaks out about their old Saint Charlie Kirk. And that's how it works. But it's all about the kids, right? It's all about the kids. All about the kids. You care about the kids. Charlie Kirk wasn't a kid. Any more than the two nephews they're saying I fucking molested as a kid. They were adults when I was adult. You know? Calling things out as they are is not the path of hatred. Calling it out is just calling it out. I'm not going to be subjugate to fucking people's evil. You ain't going to do shit and then think no one's going to call you out. I'm sorry, I don't have a television show. You can't do to me what you did to Jimmy Kimmel. But if anybody calls you guys out, they're all, oh, full of hate. And yet, well, unfortunately, in America, people were very aware of who Charlie Kirk was. You know, very aware of Charlie Kirk. And he didn't get shot by someone who was a left. They're saying that he was a groyper. He was Nick Fuentes' one of his followers. Nick Fuentes is an open white supremacist. Open fascist. That dude shot Charlie Kirk because Charlie Kirk wasn't hateful enough. It was a groyper. They said he was a groyper. That's why they came out and said he was a groyper. But you're absolutely right. Every mass shooting in America has been transsexuals, right? Every fucking one of them has been. Not one of them has been a Republican. Not a one of them. Not a one of these shootings has been Republican. They're all transsexuals, right? Every one of them. Not one Republicans are peaceful and loving and would never shoot people up. But then the DOJ and Pam Bondi just had a study on their own site that said, what, over 80% of the mass shootings that we're seeing are radicalized Republicans. But they took that study down, so now the study's not on the website, so now it's not true anymore. You know? It's sad how it works. And it's disheartening for anybody who's been a victim of all this. You know? It's disheartening for everyone who's been a victim. But you want to know who does love the hate in your heart? The dark. Loves the fucking hate. Loves the fact that you hate anybody of color, of gays. You're more than willing to protect fucking pedophiles. Just as long as they have an R. You know? No, dude. You know, he thinks that racism isn't bad, but only when he's the fucking racist. If it comes to him actually experiencing shit that people are actually dealing with, then it's not so good. Then he has a problem with it. But if he can be racist and fucking hateful to other people, it's okay. It's fine. That's how it works, isn't it? If you can do it, then it's okay. But nobody else can do it to you. Because then your butt gets hurt. And then you call out for blood. Because that is what happened with Charlie Kirk. Republicans immediately called for blood. Immediately. Even though this guy that shot Charlie Kirk just seems like he's crazy. But every fucking mass shooting we've ever had now is transsexual. Just wait. That'll go up on the website next for the White House. They'll have a new study and they'll say every shooting that's in America is transsexual. Do I agree with transsexual shit? Not for myself. You know? I don't understand it. But I'm also not willing to just use it as a scapegoat. I have a little bit more integrity. Integrity. A word they don't understand. But what can I say? What can I say? We live in an evil fucking world. And people are just getting... I'm not mad. Why are you in here trying to actually irritate me? That's the question. Why are you in here actually, you know, racism isn't bad. Why are you trying to provoke? And then trying to get in and then when you don't get the emotional reaction that you get, little fucking incel that you are, then you try to put off an emotion on someone else. I don't even fucking know who you are. You're an anonymous person with an anonymous account coming in here and saying stupid shit and thinking that you're getting an emotional reaction when really no one gives a fuck about you. That's your problem. That's your problem. Nobody gives a fuck about you in the real world, let alone in online. But online isn't the real world. Unfortunately, I think it's becoming that way. And it's just sad. You know? This is all about child trafficking. They break into my house whenever they want. They threaten to hurt me and my dogs whenever they want. They steal shit from my house and brag about it all the time. Shelby County, Iowa Sheriff Neil Gross and his deputies are going around town hanging fucking signs that I'm a pedophile with my picture on it. You know? Why do I see, and now they're coming in with different names. Oh, you're mad. You're mad. You're mad. You know? I'm debating. You have to have someone to debate. You have to actually have an intellectual, someone who's actually able to debate. You say stupid shit. You think racism is good. And then I'm supposed to get emotionally upset about that? Because you're an idiot? Why would I be upset that you're an idiot? And you're too stupid to be upset that you're an idiot. You don't know. So who cares? So what? So you have some fucking idiotic thoughts that you come in as an anonymous person talking about it. You know? Scott Biebler, there's no fucking sins I have to confess. You're playing a goddamn game, is what you're playing. Again. I don't give a fuck what it is. You're playing a game. Okay. No, Pablo. I was talking to someone else. The other person that's in the chat. Not all of it is all about you. I didn't call you out for being racist. You know? See, they're all in here. The Iowa Police Department didn't finish their job. First of all, dumbass, it's T-H-E-I-R, not T-H-E-R-E, dumbass. You know? A bunch of fucking child traffickers are in there, or the Sewer Town idiots, or the Satanic Temple idiots, all in here fighting fucking for pedophiles. They want this shit to stay quiet. They want this shit to stay quiet. And they'll play all kinds of goddamn games. They'll act like they're your supporter. Oh, just like Sherilyn. Oh, Sherilyn was my best fucking friend. Had me convinced that I was going to move to Lincoln. And was trying to fucking cut my throat at the same time. I don't believe, Scott, I haven't even heard of you. But you've been fighting for human trafficking for stuff, so you want more authority than I do on my own venue. That's what it is. And I'm angry. And you're not. And everyone should just respect you. Where's your website, dude? Do you have a website? If you're in this and you've been fighting this, where's your info? I can send you to my website. I can show you my book. You're on my YouTube station. You know? Dude, you've been watching me because you're one of them. And you're going to play this little game where you're an advocate, but you don't have any proof that you're an advocate. You don't have a website. You don't have any proof that you are who you say you are. You just want people to just trust you because everyone online is exactly what and who they say they are, right? There's no catfishing. Catfishing doesn't exist, just like there's no fucking traffickers with Epstein. He trafficked all those kids to himself. You know? Oh, you've been doing a lot behind the scenes. Well, how convenient that is. Can't prove anything. Just want to be taken as your word. You know? Okay, Thomas. Or Gabe. Or Lucian. Or Corey Daniel. How about Gio Farnsworth? They all say the same thing too. They've been fighting this child trafficking forever. Haven't done shit. Haven't succeeded in anything. And now they're calling me. And now they're calling me. That's how this works. They're on top of me all the time. Trying to diss me. You know? All anonymously. Well, I've done all this stuff in secret, and I can't tell you what it is, but know that I'm saving the world. But it's a secret. Nobody knows. You know? I can't prove you killed your family member, but you said it out of your mouth on a video one day. What fucking family member, dickhead? What family member did I kill? Just like I fucking molested my nephews. The one who's 3 years younger than I am and the one who's 8. So what family member did I kill, dickhead? Or is that a secret too? You can't bring up that name. Go ahead and fucking call the cops, dickhead. You guys are all in here working together. You know? What family member, dude? What family member? What family member did I supposedly... And if I'm out there saying that I killed a family member, why the fuck haven't you called the cops? Why haven't the cops come to ask me about the family member I killed? Don't have a fucking clue who this family member is. You know? Dude, you're a fucking child trafficker and now you're trying to justify your fucking lies. That's what ends up happening. And now you're in here saying that I killed a family member. What family member? All the people that I know. Cindy? No, that was Ralph and Wendy who were with her when she died. And she was sick. Adult Protective Services got called to her house because she told her doctors and nurses they were going to murder her. You know? But you go ahead, oh, you don't know the family member. You're not going to mention the family member, this guy? Obtuse about it. But you're not going to bring up the name. It's just some family member. You know? It's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever fucking heard in my life. This is the shit. And this is why they say, oh, well, he won't debate us. You know? Dude, I'm not going to sit here and argue with you the whole time. I won't block you, but I will sit you on a timeout. Didn't kill any of my family members. You know? They talk to my family all the time. So who's the family member I killed? But they can't give you a name. You know? And now they're saying, see, the whole thing about it is that 8 years old, when I was 8, they were born. So when they were 8, I was 16 years old. But no police got called, nothing got called. But they have been spending years presenting it that I was an adult and they were children. But now that doesn't work anymore. I would be willing to bet that Scott Biebler is Geo because of this bullshit. Because this is what fucking drunk-ass Geo does. This is what he does. I didn't kill anybody, dumbass. Not all of us are like your stupid ass. They'll just come up with any fucking bullshit. And why? Because they know that people are going to get caught up in the fucking entertainment factor. You don't have a fucking clue what the facts are. And don't have a care in the world. Not a fucking care in the world. And then people wonder why survivors. And all of this shit is just making it so survivors don't ever want to come forward. You know? Because this is the shit that they go through. This is the shit that they go through. It's meant to quiet everybody down. Because they figure you guys are okay with evil. At least enough to where you're not going to feel compelled to do anything about it anyway. You know? I can't wait to pass all this shit off to the police when I get done off of here. They're accusing me of now murdering a family member, and I did it on a video. Neil says that it's not his job to count explosions when it comes to the Erlin, Iowa gas station explosion. It wasn't his job. That's why the official report says 1 explosion, when in truth it was 2. It's not his job. Is it his job to fucking investigate murders? They're saying that I murdered a family member. Murder is still a crime, right? Right? There's no statute of limitations for murder, right? Right? Or maybe I live in a different America now, and it's okay to murder people. But if they're saying that I murdered a family member, I think that needs to be investigated. I would think so. This child trafficking thing needs to be exposed. Child trafficking thing needs to be exposed, and it needs to be stopped. It needs to be stopped, flat out. And I'm not gonna stop. Just because dumbass, lazy motherfuckers who are okay with child traffickers they want to feel like they're okay, so they don't want anybody else to do anything either. They can go fuck themselves. Really, when it comes down to it. They can get claimed by the dark. They have no compassion or empathy. And yet they demand it from everybody else. They don't offer it to anybody, but they fucking demand it every moment of the day. And the hypocrisy is just a little bit too much to take. I'm going to get off here. I did exactly what I was told. I did a second one. I think the reason why I did a second one is because I think I was supposed to get this fucking, you killed a family member. I think I was supposed to get that. Because now I'm going to run with that. Shit, if I killed a family member, that should be fucking investigated. I want to know what family member I murdered. And why the fuck didn't any of my family members say anything? You know, they were just okay with me murdering one of them and nobody said anything, right? That's how this works, right? That makes sense to you, right? Joanne, who's on top of me, she knows that I murdered a family member, but she hasn't said a word, hasn't said anything. Because she loves me and wants to protect me, right? Kathy, my sister, loves me and wants to protect me, right? The family member that I murdered, they're all trying to protect me from that, right? And this, again, is Gio. The dude obviously does not have a job that he works much. He's drunk all the time, and he's on top of me constantly, you know? But I think that's why I needed to come out and do this. So shit, now that things are going to be, I killed a family member, the new flyers. I killed a family. We don't know what the name is. Don't know who the family member is that he killed, but he killed one. Focus on him and not on our fucking child killing asses. Don't focus on our child trafficking bullshit. Don't focus on us. The fact that we came into town, murdered his friend, was dumb enough to fucking brag about it on YouTube. Don't focus on any of that. Focus on this shit. Because this is what makes Gio superior, right? Because Gio's a groiper. That little Pepe the Frog fucking thing, that's associated with groipers. Pepe the Frog is a groiper, so this dickhead is a groiper. You know? Wow. A fucking Nazi lover who fucking murders people. Who would have thought? Nazis don't murder people. They're loving and caring. Because that's what Gio is, right? And I left this on here, Gio, just so I could show. I did this on purpose. You're sitting there fucking hitting a button over and over and over and over. You are beyond pathetic. Just beyond pathetic. Beyond pathetic. Oh, he's switching it up now. Switching it up. He can show that he can click other buttons, you know? And he supposedly has kids. God help them. Because I don't think anybody else will. So, I will put... I'm at the point where I'm starving. That's the reason why they came in here and said the last live, oh, I donated $75. No, nobody donated anything. They say that so that nobody feels compelled to actually help. You know? But we're all having problems. You know? We're all having problems. Not all of us have the money coming in from fucking trafficking kids. They have a lot of money coming in because they fucking rape kids and sell them. They have a lot of money coming in. That's what gives them all their money. Shit. I live in fucking pedophile country. I should just switch my name. Switch my affiliation to fucking Republican. Then they'll stop bitching at me that I'm a pedophile. Of course, I'm not a pedophile, so that wouldn't work. You know? And this is the stupid shit that the dude who's never fucking read a book, let alone written a book, thinks he's all superior. But the dude is a fucking idiot. He's a fucking idiot. They're all fucking idiots. But Thomas was right. Thomas Schoenberger said Kash Patel would make it all go away. Kash Patel would protect all of them. And that's exactly what they did. That's exactly what's happening. Right in front of you. And they know that most of you will just deny it. And tell yourself bullshit. They know. They know that. You know? Oh, come on. Take your hand off your dick, Gio. I know you're jacking off watching me, but I'm not seeing a lot of this. So you're obviously doing a lot of this and not a lot of this. You know? It's creepy that you masturbate to me. It's just creepy. I'll put the thing in for buy me a coffee. Anything helps. $1. I have nothing. You know? And they're gonna focus on me because they want their fucking Nazi child trafficking bullshit. But we can't use the word Nazi. We can't use fascist. You know? Now we've come to the conclusion that every single mass shooting ever in the whole fucking country, from the beginning of fucking time, they were all transsexuals. You know? I don't even know who would cook a brick? What the fuck is a brick? Again, they come up with all this stupid, childish bullshit. Stupid, childish bullshit. And think that they're superior. You know? But, you can do something nice, help someone who's actually trying to fight this shit, or you can go and do nothing and fucking join the goddamn pedophiles and Geo who's doing this and be okay with their bullshit. You know? Or listen to the Scott person. I've been behind the scenes for years. Nobody knows. I'm saving the world. But I can't. It's all top secret. I can't show you nothing. Uh-huh. If those are the people, that's who you think is actually cool, do me a favor and don't come to my lives anymore. But then Gio's too busy fucking jacking off every fucking moment about me. He wakes up thinking about me, thinks about me all damn day, goes to bed thinking about me, but he doesn't sleep because he just thinks about me all the time. He's a closet case. That's what closet cases do. They hate on gay guys because they want it up the ass and aren't strong enough to admit it. You know? Fucking pathetic pieces of shit. Okay, with that said, that's my second live for today. You know? Hopefully Gio's already climaxed because I'm getting off here. And when I say I'm getting off, it would never be thinking about Gio or Terry Joyce or Thomas Schoenberger or any of them. Corey Daniel. They all fucking make you feel like you need to go take a shower every time you look at them because they're just dirty motherfuckers. Gio is a dirty motherfucker. In here, this is the shit that he does that he thinks it makes him superior. You know? The child trafficking bullshit needs to be investigated and it needs to be stopped. And if you think otherwise, go fuck yourself. You know? If you're okay with fucking pedophiles, at least be honest about it. At least to yourself.